Now let's face it, most Indians fall into the skinny fat category. I used to be them myself, but I feel I've done a good job in coming away from that. I'm not completely ripped, but I'm still in pretty good shape. And that's what today's video is about. How you can go from being just skinny fat to being in great shape and possibly even ripped. All my skinny fat friends watching this video, keep in mind that all of us want bodies like Ronaldo or Virat or Ranveer Singh. But the bad news is that you can't just get that kind of physique by simply burning off all your fat. Okay, now here's the biggest misconception that most people have, especially before they start gymming. I had this misconception. I thought that if I want that Bruce Lee body, super ripped body with that chest line and those abs, I thought that to reach there, all I have to do is simply burn off my fat. I thought it's a one-step process. See, if you basically just burn off all your fat, you'll only go from being a big potato to a slightly smaller potato. But we don't want to do that. We want to go from being a big potato to being Bruce Lee. You can't expect to just lose fat and get ripped. It's a two-step process. First, you need to build some amount of muscle mass and then cut down on your fat. That's how it works, and that's how you get a ripped body. Also, a very crucial thing to note here is that the more lean muscle mass you build, the easier fat burning gets. So your aim should be to build lean muscle mass first. And the fastest way to get ripped is to take up weight training or resistance training. If you're a complete beginner to the whole process and you don't know anything about weight training or resistance training, make sure you check out my beginners workout series by clicking on that card. I've made it especially for people who know nothing about the process. Another super crucial thing to note is that many people have this misconception that cardio exercises like running or swimming will make you get a ripped body. It's not like that. I used to think that way. That's why I used to run like 5 kilometers every day and expect to get a body like Ronaldo. It doesn't work like that. Cardio exercises work your heart. They don't give any resistance to your muscles to grow. So if you want a good looking physique, you need to take up weight training or resistance training. And also don't be afraid of it at all. It's not dangerous and it won't make you bulky or stiff or any of that. All those super bulky bodybuilders you see on stage, they've taken a lot of steroids and growth hormone injections in order to look that way. So unless you inject yourself, you're perfectly fine. Don't worry. Even if you lift weights for 10, 20 years, you won't end up being bulky. You'll end up getting a physique like a footballer or a cricketer. Think Ronaldo or Virat Kohli. That's what you can realistically aim for. But exercise is only 20% of the game according to me. The remaining 80% boils down to your diet. When it comes to the diet, when we're talking about getting ripped, a lot of fitness experts will talk about, bulking and cutting, where you bulk up, put on both fat and muscle, and then cut down by just burning your fat and maintaining your muscle. Now, this is a correct method, but from my own experience, if you want to get ripped, I feel the best approach is to follow a lean muscle building plan. And there's a few rules you need to keep in mind if you want to adopt this diet plan. Rule number 1 is that you need to hit your protein goal every single day. Everyone's got a unique protein goal, and I've made an entire video on how to calculate your own goal. So make sure you check out the video and learn from it. It's the most important concept in long-term fitness. Even on the days you don't work out, you need to continuously hit your protein goal every single day. Rule number 2, carbs. Now remember, you want to get ripped. You want those abs and the chest line. So we're not going to overdo it with carbs. And more importantly, every single carbohydrate that you consume has to be clean. It has to be a low GI carbohydrate. If you don't know much about the science of carbohydrates, one of my earliest videos was all about that topic. So make sure you check it out. Okay, but let's quickly go over the carbohydrate rules. Firstly, everything should be low GI. So you want to replace the high GI potato, white or brown bread and white rice with the low GI sweet potato, brown rice and oats. The simple Indian roti is also one of the best forms of carbohydrates and it's giving you a little bit of protein. So if you ever have the option of eating roti or upma, always opt for that. As for the amount of carbs you need to consume, now this is super unique to everyone. Now remember, we want to get ripped, so you're not going to overdo it with the carbs. So rule of thumb is to generally avoid carbs after the dark. But you got to make sure you don't go completely low on carbs. Make sure you keep it around your workout, before and after your workout, and also 1 or 2 other meals in the day. So the general protocol is you try keeping this 4 meals of carbs, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and 2 around your workout. You see how your body is reacting to it. If you feel like you're getting too fat too fast, reduce it by 1 meal. If you feel like you're doing fine, keep it going. This way you'll build solid lean muscle mass if all the carbohydrates that you consume are clean. Remember, if you're a skinny fat person, you're an endomorph, and we tend to deposit fat really easily. We're very carb sensitive, and we are sensitive to the carbs from fruit. So ideally minimize fruit, and as usual, I have a video on that topic. Third and final rule, you need to be careful about your fat intake. Now I know this seems very obvious, but you gotta remember that even good fats are still fats. Remember, you become fat or you burn off fat based on your overall caloric intake for the day. Now if you do consume a lot of good fats, be it nuts, egg yolk, ghee, coconut oil, they're really great for your health, but if you consume them way too much, you'll end up putting on fat. So be very careful with them, especially if you want to move from skinny fat to getting ripped. Hey guys, so if you're new to my channel, recently I put out something called the BB Summer Diet Program. It's basically a weight loss program for fat burning, but even if you want to move from being skinny fat to getting ripped, that diet will work. It's a written and free diet plan to burn off fat, so make sure you check it out. Either way, if you want to follow my personal fitness journey, these are my handles and that's my Facebook page. Until next time guys, from BeerBiceps, see you.